In Kenya, rights to property are guaranteed in law for both men and women.
One of the greatest challenges in championing for women land rights is violence.
Retrogressive social and cultural practices are denying women access to and use of land.
Walikuwa wanasema siwezi pata saba, abu bwana yangu walikufa.
How can this be addressed?
Wamama wako na haki ya kumiliki mashamba.
Nilifurahi, ningekuwa msichana ningeruka tu.
Welcome, I'm Alex Chamwada, and this documentary is brought to you by Groots Kenya, a national movement of grassroots women-led community and self-help groups fighting for the rights of women to own land. Let's begin by contextualizing the issue.
Under the Constitution, a woman and a man have equal rights to own, use, and dispose of their property as they wish. Under the law of succession, there is no distinction between a man and a woman when they are inheriting property, so that a son and a daughter of a deceased person have an equal right to inherit from that deceased person, okay? And then in matrimonial property, when a husband and a wife get married and they acquire property, the law makes an assumption that both of them are equally entitled to that property. And all you need to show, if you're the person who is claiming that property, is that you contributed to the acquisition or to the development of that property.
That's how clear the law is, but let's find out the reality on the ground. The home of Kizito Lugano in Bukhaywa village, Muranda location, Shinyalu constituency, Kakamega County, is our first stop as we embark on this assignment. Kizito is a peasant farmer and a church elder. We are received warmly by his family. Among them is his daughter, Lynette Kalenya, a widow and a mother of two. She is not here by choice.
Wakati nilioleka mji wa Shitoto, nikapata watoto, nikaendelea kukaa huko. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa boma yangu na bwanangu na baba mzazi. Ikafikia mahali baba mzazi akakonjeka, akatuacha. Tukaendelea kukaa na bwanangu na watoto. Ikafikia mta, bwanangu naye akakonjeka, akaaka. Maisha ikaanza kuwa ngumu. Nikakuja nyumbani kwetu, nikaambia wazazi wangu nisaidieni watoto ili na mimi niende nitafute. Ili hao watoto nijue vile watakula, watavaa, watakunywa, wataenda shule. Mimi nang'ang'ana kufanya umeti, nikifulia watu manguo, imefikia mali hata nguvu saa hii sasa sina. Nikasema wacha niende, nirudi kwa shamba yangu nilee watoto wangu, hiyo shamba isaidia hao watoto. Nikapata shemeki amekuja ameichukua hiyo shamba analima, na nikimwambia nimekuja sasa nataka hii shamba isaidia hao watoto, hataki.
This is the land Lynette claims belongs to her. It is located in Shidodo village, Shinyalu constituency, some 20 minutes drive from her parents' home. It is about 1.5 acres in size. We approached Lynette's in-law, Josephat Majimbo, who is said to have grabbed the land to get the side of his story. He stays in this disputed land.
Mwanamke akisema mtoto mahali, ana watoto ndio wanaruhusiwa wapatiwe shamba ama yeye ndio anaruhusiwa apatiwe shamba?
Lakini kama inakupatia ruhusa gani kisheria kumiliki, kwa sababu
kisheria sijasema ninamiliki. Kama msee amekuachia property na unajua watoto wamesaliwa kwa hiyo boma, paka ulinde hiyo property, watoto wakifika 18 watakuja, niongee na watoto wangu niwaambie hapa ndio mtakaa, hii ndio mali yenu. Lakini nimeomba hawa watoto waletwe, nikaramikie, nijue mahitaji yao, nijue afya yao, mimi nishughulikie masomo yao, lakini grandfather wao amekatali watoto. Sasa nikajiuliza kisheria nitafanyaje?
A tricky family affair indeed.
Unasema ulikuwa unaishi hapa?
Nilikuwa naishi hapa.
Unasema uongo. Kwa sababu unajua, sema ukweli. Hujawahi kuishi hapa na hii nyumba mtu hajawahi kuishi.
Nani alijenga hii nyumba?
Hii nyumba bwanangu ndiye alichenga. Na umepomoa mlango.
Niko na cases kwa ofisi yangu, karibu kesi 25 saa hii ambazo tunashughulikia. Mila na itikadi zetu zinafanya mama hawezi akarizi mali, lakini tunaenda tukiwaelimisha usiku na mchana, na tunashirikiana kwa pamoja na assistant chiefs and the TO.
In Navakholo constituency, Kakamega County, we find the chief of Butsoso North location, Wycliffe Kombo, addressing a baraza. The subject matter being land disputes in the area and how they can be resolved. Besides the baraza, he has to find time to listen to individual cases.
At the very initial level, we advise that families should have a chairman. They should listen to that woman or to that widow. We realize that some of them do this out of ignorance. They don't know that the law has given women rights in regard to matter of inheritance and land rights.
At Groots Kenya, a lot has been documented about the reality on the ground.
One of the critical thing in women development is access to resource, and one of those important resources is land. So Groot has been very critical in championing for women land rights. And in this case, within our country, we are talking about their access to public land, or how public land is governed for the benefit of men and women, their access to private land, and we have a special interest in matrimonial land because of the things that have happened before around that category of land, but also their participation in community land governance. And our advocacy is one on the implementation of laws, organizing the women, building capacity awareness, and equipping them with the skill to do advocacy for the implementation of law has been one of our interventions, but also making sure that these women are represented in spaces of governance as they exist in our constitution. We have several of them now who are sitting in the land control boards at the sub-county level.
But not all is doom and gloom. There are some success stories worth highlighting. Sophia Anyona in Kisembe village, Navakholo constituency, is a proud owner of a title deed after a tough family dispute.
Mzee vile aliondoka, alimaliza mwezi moja, wakianza vita. Shamba nikanyang'anywa na semeji wangu, na hiyo shamba ilikuwa ya mzee, na huyo shemeji kaungana na watu wanapikanga sisi vita nje, akaenda shortcut akatoa namba ya shamba.
Hatimaye sisi watoto wote 5 na mama tukaenda kotini tukapewa shamba.
Nilifurahi, ningekuwa msichana ningeruka tu.
Hapa Navakholo ni risafu kabisa. Kuna mtu hata ana redio na aendangi barasa. Yeye anaishi tu, pora ameishi. Sasa watu lazima tena tukienda kwa matanga, tukienda wapi, na jaribu kuelezea itakana uishi kwa shamba yenye unajua uko na land title deed.
In Kitui County, there are success stories too. I've come here to tell you the story of a woman who, after many years of struggle and after being enlightened, she managed to get a share of her land. Habari mama. Her name is Angela Mune. She stays in her own piece of land after successfully acquiring a title deed thanks to the assistance of the local administration and Groots Kenya. She claims that her husband had abandoned her, went to stay elsewhere, and wanted to sell their matrimonial land without her knowledge.
I had experienced a lot of verbal violence in my marriage, but because I was empowered, I stood my ground and was not shaken by his verbal assaults. I reported the matter to the chief, who mandated our clan to subdivide the land between the two of us. I finally got my own share, and my husband got his, which he sold and left.
In Laikipia County, Rosemary Wanjiru, yet another witness with a success story, narrated her ordeal to us.
Wakati bwanangu aliaga, sasa wakaanza kusema niende, naweza kwenda kuolewa, mimi bado ni mtoto. Kwa hivyo niwache mali, na wakanifukuza, nikaenda nikakaa 7 years kwa slum town. Na ndio hapo niliweza kushikana na Roots Kenya. Wakanisaidia mpaka nikapata title na nikarudi hapa. Mimi kazi yangu ile mimi nafanyaga hapa ni kulima tu.
Na tunafurahia kwamba the take up ama the knowledge, the increased knowledge inaendelea kusaidia kuminimize zile cases.
And in Kiambu, meet Margaret Wamboi Thiga, who is devastated. Her relatives chased her away from their matrimonial home following the death of her husband.
Nilienda huko polisi. Nikawaambia vile kumefanyika. Hawa polisi wakaniambia ati juu hiyo ni kesi ya nyumbani niende kwa subsip. Sasa wakati tulikuwa tunatoka huko turudi kunyumbani, walienda mbele yangu wakaharibu hiyo nyumba yote. Watoto wangu hawana pa kujenga, hakuna hatulimi sasa. Sasa sisi tunatafuta tu kibarua pahali tunapata.
The other challenge is the long and winding legal justice, with many stakeholders advocating for arbitration and use of change champions as alternative methods of resolving disputes. The National Land Commission too has a role to play.
So we have empowered our officers in such a way that when such issues come, they either try to solve them there or they escalate to the commission. So when they come, we normally try to arbitrate and for the matter not to go to court, probably because if it goes to court, a woman will always lose because she may not have enough financial marshals to bring her case forward.
The success we see is in cases that have come to court. For the cases to come to court, a person has to have the know-how, has to have the capacity to file a case in court. So we need to bring down access to justice to the people so that a woman who is infringed is able to go to a court and claim her right to property.
The Ministry of Public Service and Gender is very instrumental because it really has the mandate to accelerate gender equality in the country, and we've been working with them for a long time. The other ministry, of course, is the Ministry of Land because they are responsible on the implementation of land law and the delivery of land services.
Also, on a positive note, the ongoing digitization at the land registry is hailed as a step in the right direction that will boost the fight for women land rights.
We work together with the ministry, and this is to improve on the service delivery. We are imagining of once this digitalization is complete, you come from the farthest part of this country and you can easily get to know, you don't need to travel all the way to Nairobi. So it's a way of improving efficiency.
One of the other gaps that the Ministry of Land needs to fix is the issue of data. We keep seeing statistics being thrown, whether it's from the World Bank or it's from us as civil society and other organizations saying that women own 1% of the registered land in the country. But we've not had a point of confirmation whether these statistics are actually the true statistics.
Women land rights are linked to the Sustainable Development Goals, and that issue of data is addressed in goal number 1.
And this goal provides for an indicator to secure women land rights, which states that we need to be able to collect data and information for both men and women and be able to disaggregate that data by sex and ensure that also we disaggregate the data by types of tenure. For women, equally, land is important for a livelihood point of view, for identity point of view, for their growth and development, and also for prosperity. It's only also when a woman has a land, as is for men, that they can also exercise authority. Land is power.
In a nutshell, change will not come easily, but stakeholders believe with consistency in awareness creation and advocacy for implementation of the law, equality in land ownership rights will become a reality.